Hi, welcome to this video tutorial on the anatomy of the rectus abdominis muscle of ruminants. The rectus abdominis muscle is one of the four muscles of the abdominal wall of ruminant animals. It serves the important functions of involved in the abdominal press, which occurs during defecation, urination, parturition, and also expiration. So in this video tutorial, I provide some literature on various aspects of the anatomy of the rectus abdominis muscle. After going through this video tutorial on the anatomy of the ruminant rectus abdominis muscle, you'll be able to describe the structure of the rectus abdominis muscle, and you also be able to state its origin, insertion, action, nerve supply, and also the blood supply. In addition, you'll be able to name the anatomical structures that are related to the rectus abdominis muscle on its superficial and also on its deep sides. I will now describe the anatomy of the rectus abdominis muscle. I will first describe it in general terms, then I'll talk about its origin, insertion, action, innervation, and blood supply. The rectus abdominis muscle is a paired long muscle that runs horizontally on either side of the linea alba on the ventral abdominal wall. The linea alba is just a band of connective tissue that divides the rectus abdominis muscle into two parts, a left and a right part. Both the linea alba and the rectus abdominis muscle extend from the sternum all the way up to the pubis. The two muscles of the rectus abdominis are separated, except near the pelvis, by an interval of about 5 to 10 centimeters, so that this part of the abdominal wall is entirely fibrous. So this is the region where you find the linea alba. And also the umbilicus is located at a point on the linea alba in a transverse plane to the third lumbar vertebrae. There are about 5 tendinous intersections in the cranial two-thirds of the muscle, which pass at right angles to the muscle fibers. The muscle fibers run in longitudinal fashion. The tendinous intersections help in preventing muscle fibers from spreading out, and also in this way they help to strengthen the muscle. And there is usually a foramen near the second tendinous intersection, and this is for the passage of the superficial cranioepigastric vein, and this is sometimes referred to as the area of the milk well. So I will now talk about the other attributes of the muscle. In terms of its origin, the muscle originates from the ventral and lateral surfaces of the sternum, as far cranial as the third or fourth costal cartilage. It inserts on the prepubic tendon, and therefore indirectly it inserts to the pectin ossis pubis and also the symphysial ligament. The muscle acts to arc the dorsum and also to aid in the functions that are dependent upon the abdominal press, and these functions include urination, defecation, parturition, and also expiration. The muscle receives its nerves from the thoracic, costo-abdominal, and also the first 2-3 lumbar nerves. It receives its blood supply or arterial blood supply from the cranial and caudal epigastric arteries. So that is about the anatomy of the rectus abdominis muscle. The rectus abdominis muscle is related to a number of structures, both on its superficial side as well as on its deep side. On the superficial side, the muscle is related to the aponeurosis of the external abdominal oblique muscle and also the internal abdominal oblique muscle. It is also related on its superficial side to the abdominal tunic and also the pectoral muscles. On the deep side, this muscle is related to the transverse abdominis and also to the peritoneum and the costal arch. In addition, the rectus abdominis muscle is also related to a number of blood vessels, which include the caudal superficial epigastric arteries, the cranial epigastric arteries, and also the cranial epigastric vein. You have now come to the end of this short video tutorial on the anatomy of the rectus abdominis muscle of the ruminant animals, and therefore you should be able to describe the structure of this muscle, and you should also be able to state the various attributes of the muscle, such as its origin, insertion, action, nerve supply, and blood supply. In addition, you should be able to name the anatomical structures that are related to this muscle on its superficial as well as its deep sides.